So we've all been there where you're trying to get the composition right on a shot, and it gets so frustrating, prompt after prompt of, monster chasing man, man running from monster, man running scared from monster, every prompt you can think of, and you're still not getting the shot composition you're looking for. So I'm going to show you a little trick around that, and it gets great results, so I hope you stick with us. So the trick is we're going to process our image out in separate parts, and then we're going to comp them back together in Photoshop. So I'm going to start with a blank project here. We're going to make sure we're set to disabled on the photo or image input. I'm going to set my screen to 1344 by 704. That's extremely close to 16 by 9. It's about the closest one on here. We're going to set the processing performance to speed, and over on style, we're only going to use the top 3 here. We're going to keep it very simple to start with. Over on my prompt, we're going to go with hyperrealistic xenomorph running towards viewer. And then I put in full body view. We want to see the whole thing. And 8K and photo help you get a more realistic and photographic image. So we're going to go ahead and run that and make sure we're set to random, and we're going to process this out. Now, I ran 2 images here so I could pick between the best 2, and I really like this other one, so this is the one I'm going to go with. So what we're going to do now is just save that image to a folder that we can pull back up into Photoshop in a few minutes, and we're going to change our prompt a little bit to make our second character, and we're going to change the xenomorph running. We're going to change that to, I think maybe terrified soldier, running towards the viewer. We want to make sure he has fear on his face. So we're going to go ahead and generate this and get us a couple of images to pick between. So now we got our 2 images, and I really like this one better. It just has more of a dynamic, more action look to it. So we're going to save him the same place that we saved our other file, and we're going to move over to Photoshop. Now, I don't want to leave this out. Before we go over to Photoshop, I want to remove the backgrounds from both of these characters. I use createpixelcut.ai. It's got a free part to it, and you can pay to get higher quality, but when we're going to put them back into AI, it doesn't really matter anyway. So once you have the background removed on both of those, we're going to head back over and go into Photoshop. Now, I say Photoshop, but you can use any one of these art generators or graphic designers that allows you to use layers. Now, we're going to need a background, and normally I would go back over into Fooocus and, just type in a jungle background, but the one that the xenomorph is on here, I really, really like, so we're going to show you a way that we can kind of steal this color scheme and that steaminess of the jungle. I'm going to grab parts of the image and drag them towards the middle and erase the character that way, and we're going to take that back over into Fooocus, and we're going to use that as an image prompt to get those colors and that steaminess that we like. So you can see here that the image that we're getting for this jungle is a pretty good background. I don't think we would have done much better than this if we'd have done it from scratch. I like this one a lot. Now we're going to go back over into Photoshop, and we're going to composite everything and make ourselves an image prompt that we can take back over. So open up your jungle background and open up your 2 cropped out characters. And the first one we're going to want to do is we're going to want to drag the back image on, which is going to be the xenomorph. We're going to want to make him the appropriate scale, so we're probably going to have to reduce his size a little bit and move him around. Then we'll drag our front character, our fleeing soldier, into the foreground, and we're going to take the background picture and we're going to put a little bit of a blur to that. So go in and just give it a soft amount of blur, and that will give you some depth of field to the picture. Once we have that, let's save it, and we're going to go back over to Fooocus again. So I bring that picture in, as my image prompt. And I'm going to use a prompt that we're going to go with hyper-realistic, steamy jungle, scared soldier being chased by xenomorph. And then I put 8K and photo in there. I am going to go ahead and change the settings on the performance. We're going to go to quality this time, and it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's worth it, and we're going to let it run. You can see now we have a nicely composited, laid out the way we wanted it laid out, and we have a good depth of field. The whole picture just has a good feel to it, and 9 times out of 10, this is going to give you a better result than if you just rely on AI to lay everything out for you. I hope this helps. If it does, give us a like or subscribe. If you didn't like it or see something we can do better, let us know in the comments. Thanks.